Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing good today or tonight, whatever it is for you. Thank you for being here and taking precious time out of your day to come and watch me and listen to what I have to say. Okay, you guys like to hear me talk, so there's going to be a lot of talking in this episode. I hope you guys are prepared. Buckle up. I wanted to address something on my channel, actually on my community page. I put a post up a couple weeks ago that's actually got quite a bit of attention, mostly positive actually feedback, and I was kind of surprised at that. I wasn't sure if I should put that post up or not because I thought it may be offensive to some, and there weren't really anyone who seemed to be offended by it. Either they just didn't comment if they were offended by it, or there just weren't very many people on my channel who are offended by something like that. But I just want to be clear with you all because there were a couple people who contacted me, and there were a few comments in the comments section from people who just didn't really understand the point I was trying to make, and maybe I just didn't make my point very clear. Sometimes I'm not very good at that. But I wanted to clarify a few things regarding that post because I don't want to offend anybody. That's not my purpose. And I wasn't trying to call anybody out, and I wasn't trying to tell anybody that they're a Dyna bro just because they ride a Dyna. I own a Dyna, I ride my Dyna, I like my Dyna. I also wasn't trying to tell anybody that if they don't work on their own motorcycles, they're not cut out to ride, or that if they don't ride a Harley, they're not cool enough. It doesn't matter what you ride, it matters why you ride. The passion for riding that we all have brings riders together, and that always has and always will. It's that passion that you can say unites us. So it's not about whether or not you ride a Harley. Bird, you are so silly. Everybody say hi to Loki. He decided he wanted to join the rant also. And this isn't really meant to be a rant actually, but it might turn into that. I just want you all to know that I am not trying to diss anybody. I'm just telling you guys about something that I've witnessed in my own life since I've started riding motorcycles, and probably more just since I've been an adult and more in the motorcycle scene personally and not just like a kid growing up around it. It's a certain kind of attitude that, from what I hear, has been around for quite some time actually. So I'm definitely not trying to tell you that if you don't ride a Harley, you're not a biker, or that if you don't work on your own bike, you're not a biker. You don't ever have to ride a Harley to be a biker. But there is a crowd of people out there who ride Harleys because there's an image they're trying to achieve where they think that riding a Harley all of a sudden means that you are a tough guy. And I know where that image comes from, and it's because of the history that Harley has. And when I look at the motorcycle culture of today, when I think of Dyna bros, I've started a new thing and I call them road glide warriors because I feel like the Dyna bro guys kind of graduated from Dynas and they started doing the same thing with road glides that they were doing with their Dynas. Okay, they outgrew their Dynas, in other words. Or the Dyna bros are getting old now and they've decided they all want to ride Bagers. I don't know, one and the other, or maybe a mix of both. It doesn't really matter why these guys exist. The point is they do exist, and I'm going to explain to you guys the kind of people who I was referring to in the post that I made. What I'm saying has ruined motorcycle culture is a specific type of attitude that I've encountered numerous times, especially working in a Harley Davidson dealership. And the types of people that I'm referring to are the kind of guys who only ride because they think it makes them cool. And these guys, I would say 99.9% of the time, choose a Harley to ride because they think that there's an image that comes with Harleys, which you can see from the history of Harley riders. Those guys for a lot of time were considered outlaws. They were considered dangerous. They were considered badasses. And that's just the way that it has been for so long. So a lot of these guys who think they're tough guys because they ride a motorcycle, they're riding Harleys. They're not riding Yamahas. They're not riding Kawasaki's. The guys who are out there riding Yamahas, Indians, Hondas, Kawasaki's, you know, whatever. They're the guys who are usually riding because they truly just have passion for their motorcycle and they don't care what anybody thinks of them. A lot of these guys that I'm referring to in my post are the kind of guys who buy a motorcycle, they go out and they buy a brand new Harley, they think it's gonna make them look cool. They think riding a Harley makes them tough. They think it makes them a biker. And it doesn't. It never has. Riding a Harley has never made anybody a biker. It's always been a mentality thing. And now you have this whole group of riders who are like fashion riders. They ride for the fashion and not the passion because there's no passion behind it. They ride their bike. They don't know anything about it. They don't care to know anything about it. If they're not riding, they're probably driving like their Beamer with their fart muffler. And that's the mentality that I'm referring to when I talk about Dyna Bros. It's not guys who ride Dynas. It's not about what you ride. Like I said, it's about why we ride. And if you're riding because you truly love to ride, you have a passion for it, you know, even if you can't fix your own motorcycle, you don't know how or whatever, there's nothing wrong with you if you don't want to fix your own motorcycle. But if you're someone who's riding just because of the way that you think it makes you look to the rest of society, or because you think it's going to get you all the chicks, and then you look down on people like me, for example, and I say this because I've experienced this. I've gone to motorcycle like shows and events and stuff where they will be dominated by these trendy bikers and they go around calling everybody nerds and looking at people like me whose bikes are just ratty and old looking, like my Dyna. It's a rap bike. There's nothing fancy about it. There's nothing trendy about it or anything. My shovelhead is what it is, not because I care what other people think of it, because I like it. But this whole group of trendy riders, the Dyna Bros or the Road Glide Warriors, they're out there looking for attention. Well, guess what, dudes? You guys aren't bikers because you guys are not riding for anything that it means to actually be a biker. I don't know if you guys think this makes me sound rude. I'm not being judgmental. I don't care that these people exist because they exist whether they're riding motorcycles or not, and they do not make a difference in my life. I'm gonna ride what I ride because of how I feel about it, not because of the way that anybody thinks of me or looks at me or anything like that. I'm riding because I love it. And I know that a lot of my audience or my dad's generation, you guys can relate to that because you guys are the guys who really had to sacrifice to stay on the road. You guys are the guys who understand what it means to have to do whatever you can to track down and afford the parts to keep your bike on the road. You guys are the guys who pave the way for the kids like me, and a lot of us are kids of you guys, but you guys paved the way for us so that us passion-filled, chopper riding hooligans can stay on the road. And we need you guys there. Not only have you guys shown us the ropes, you guys also tend to have shops full of parts that we need to fix our old chops. And I want to thank y'all for being who you are and for making it so that people like me really truly have an undying passion for the road and just the freedom, and without caring about what other people think of us. That's why it took me 7 years to even attempt to put my motorcycle in a magazine. I've had so many people tell me, you got to try to get your bike in a magazine, and I never cared. I didn't care about the attention. That's why it took me 6 or 7 years to start a YouTube channel about my motorcycle. I just want to go and enjoy myself, and I don't care what other people think. I'm just out there enjoying myself. And if you're out there and you're riding a motorcycle, that's what it should be about for you. You don't have to be riding something that's in trend. You don't have to even be riding something new. You don't even have to be riding something nice. You just got to be riding because you truly enjoy it. So that is what that rant was all about. And I guess it did kind of stem from me trying to find parts for my dad's old bike and just having it be so difficult to find parts. It sucks. I'm more annoyed at Harley as a company getting to the point where they no longer cater to the guys in my dad's generation, to the guys who have been riding forever and who kept Harley afloat during its hardest years. The guys who are still riding the bikes that they bought during the Harley AMF years. peers, the guys who kept Harley alive when it was dying, and they can't go and get parts for their bikes anymore. But you know what though? It's okay. It's actually okay, because all those guys who've been figuring it out and fixing their bikes for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, whatever it is, they're still fixing their bikes and they're still figuring it out. And like I said, you guys are the ones who paved the way for people like me, and you guys are the ones who've taught us the ropes and taught us what it means to have soul. And I thank you all for sitting here and listening to me jabber on and rant about all of these things in my head. Okay, I know that there are a lot of people that are thinking them. It's not just me. I just want to end with saying that I'm not picking on people because of what they ride or because of what they know how to fix or do fix or how custom their bike is or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you're going to be out there on the road, have it be because you love your ride. You truly love the freedom. That's it, guys. So thank you for being here, and thank you for listening to that. And like always, my lovely YouTube people, if you like what you see, or if you just like me, or even if you don't like me but you like my bikes, then like this video, comment, subscribe, do all those things you guys do. And like always, I will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. Say bye, Loki. Oh, don't forget, if you like this guy too, he's a pain in the butt, but we love him for some reason, don't we? You little jerk. Okay, so the guys who are out there, okay, Bird, you were messing me up. The guys who are out there riding, you know what, Bird? That's disgusting. You're really messing up what I'm trying to do here. Okay, the guys that are out there on Indians and Yamahas and Kawasaki's and Bird, stop it. That to me is the true motorcycle ride. Bird, you are just really being a problem. You are bad. You are messing this up, Bird. Bird, you are messing stuff up. Bird, you gotta cut that out. Pardon my language, but I'm not gonna say bad butts. Pretend like that never happened. Man, I don't even remember where I was now.